All right, everybody, we're doing another episode of Hops Metal Show. I got a special guest, Mike Greaver.
Glad to be here.
And Larry Love, he's
How
been
y'all
on
doing?
before. All right, we're going to do some questions. First question we're going to do, I know what Mike's going to go with. Love, I'm not sure. Judas Priest or Iron Maiden? And why do you think they're your choice?
I'm gonna have to say Iron Maiden. For me, that's pretty easy. I've seen them twice. I haven't seen Priest at all. I like Judas Priest, but to me, Iron Maiden. I mean, just to see them in concert and how much energy they still have for their age, and the shows are amazing. So that's where I'd go with that.
I'll go with Iron Maiden also.
Oh, I'm disappointed. I figured Love be with Priest.
No, I'm not really a Priest fan.
I'm going with Judas Priest. I went and seen them a couple months ago down
You
in
know that, so I
D.C.
don't cheat.
Well, if Rob Halford ever releases another Christmas album, I may change my mind. But
Well, I don't know if he's going to release another Christian album, but
Christmas.
Christmas.
Yeah. Or Christian album,
Well, either or, I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, I could see the Christmas one before the Christian one.
But all right, so we're gonna go to the next one. Our next favorite Motorhead song. I know Greaver, he's a big Motorhead
That's
fan.
my favorite. Probably my favorite metal band. You want to go first, Larry?
No, you go ahead. I'll be in behind you.
God was never on your side. That's my favorite Motorhead song. It's a little slower one, but to me that was such a strange song hearing that. You don't think it's Motorhead, but then it's fantastic. So that's my favorite Motorhead song.
I'm just going with the traditional Ace of Spades. Can't go wrong.
And that's what I'm going with, Ace of Spades. I mean,
It's a good one.
Sure as hell ain't Sympathy for the Devil. That new one that they have on the commercial, that truck commercial.
See, I have that album. I think it's pretty good. That's a pretty good album.
Is that to all the remakes?
Yeah, it's all remakes. It's good.
It's Motorhead.
Jane's Addiction. It's Sympathy for the Devil.
And,
Not Guns N' Roses either.
Well, we was discussing earlier. I mean, I know my shit's like sideways right now with my daughter being at Shepherd down in Atlanta, but I did a video for slideshow video for Dear Daughter by Hellstorm. If y'all want to check it out, it's pretty decent. It's gotten crazy at my house, but anyway. All right, so we go to the next question. Favorite Kick song?
And this is the part where I thought this whole thing was going to be about a Saint Anger, night to describe how great that album is, Randy Hartman. But tables were turned when I got asked this question, so I'm gonna let you go ahead.
All right, so we actually did a survey on Facebook, favorite Kick songs. And Randy never responded, so he still might think it's Saint Anger episode. That's probably why he's not tuning in. But Stacy Rogers, I mean, he put up Cold Blood. Darren Dove, we got Blow My Fuse. And Mike May's going with Cold Shower, which that's probably the song I was going to pick. I mean, if you've ever seen them live, they bring it with pretty much every song they do, but Cold Shower is probably my favorite. I mean, do you want to cut in or?
Mine's still yeah. Just for the live factor, always having a story with it. So.
Scarlet Fever was my favorite. I mean, that whole Midnight Dynamite's a great album. Cool Kids is my favorite album of theirs, but that Scarlet Fever to me it's just, I don't know what about it makes me think that's the best, but that's the one I always go to. If I'm going to put that CD in, that's the one I go to.
I think we've talked about this. I know me and Love have. But there was a station in West Virginia called Q94 that was my whole Kicks exposure. I mean, I didn't even know the band even existed. And they played Cold Shower. and it was like they had a top 5 at 10.
Was that out of Kaiser?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, see,
West
that's
Virginia.
when I'd be down at Forestville. That's when Cool Kids came out. That's where I heard like Love Pollution and all that. That's and Body Talk. I mean that was great. I mean that's my exposure to them. So I would say, hair metal wise, they were the first band I heard because I didn't listen to it. I didn't listen to much metal as far as the hair metal stuff until I heard that, and that was to me this a great album. But they would put that in like every rock block would be like them, and then they'd put Marillion on there, and then I forget what other group it'd be, but it was just that was I always listened to it. I mean, it was like 3 or 4 songs they'd play, and that was good.
Yeah, we was talking about Q94. I mean, you did a lot of adjusting to get that station in, but from what I understand, Steve Whitman's from that area, so that's why they got such the pull
Right there in
for
Baltimore and West Virginia, right there all in that line.
Yeah, they play kicks. I mean, Cold Shower is probably my first exposure. That's why I say Mike May picked Cold Shower, and I'm going to go with that. That's probably my favorite song. Of course, I was listening to them today. I don't know what y'all think of St. Jane off Hotwire, but that's a good tune too.
See, I sort of lost them after Blow My Fuse. I sort of lost them there. I bought the one that had no, I think that's might have been the last because I was just gotten into other stuff, and I think I lost track of Kicks after that until the one I was just telling you about before we was talking had 911 and
Show
Oh,
business.
Show Business.
Now to me that's a great one too, but you can't find it on vinyl. I haven't, so I guess I'll just be still searching for the CD.
I mean, Love's right. I mean, yeah. It's like a statement. I mean, that's trademark if you ever go see them live. I mean, you expect to hear that. But
Funny story.
and Derek Tyree had Get It While It's Hot. Great song. String, yeah. He's going with Love. Mike Hardesty, Ring Around Rosie. Stacey Rogers chiming in again with Girl Money, which, man, it's a great song. And then Dee Dee Price got The Kid. Tim Strum, Atomic Bombs. Bart Morris, Cold Blood. Missy Renee, Cold Blood again. Seems like a lot of Cold Blood. Chris Anderson, which Musicland was the place to buy music back in the day. Red Light, Green Light, TNT. Carl Kruger, Scarlet Fever, which
Yeah, it's a great one.
Mike's all about Scarlet Fever.
Not having it, but the song.
But Brian Christ, Blow My Fuse. Darren Dove chiming in again with Contrary Mary off first album. Man, all great tunes.
And a lot of different ones too.
Yeah. I was pretty surprised how everybody chimed in on the Kick stuff and have different stuff for the Kicks. Much love for the Kicks. Alright, so next one's Better Guitarist. I went down to the Gobbler Grill Saturday night. Props to Billy Lambert. He's going through some rough times. But Better Guitarist, Eddie Van Halen or Randy Rhoads. Man, Billy said Randy Rhoads, he's on a pedestal of his own, which, man, Randy Rhoads is freaking awesome. I mean, I ain't taking nothing from him. But damn, Eddie Van Halen created a whole fucking genre
Finger tap.
of...
I'd have to go with Eddie Van Halen.
I'm going Eddie Van Halen too. But, like I told Billy the other night when we was all sitting there, we didn't get to see Randy actually, the passing so early with him. We never got to see where his full potential could have been.
Yeah, I mean, Randy was taken way too early for him to really show his stuff, and he put out, we got Blizzard of Oz and Diary of a Madman, 2 great albums.
That's to me, and I'm sorry, that to me is the Ozzy's greatest stuff.
Yeah.
To me, I remember when you had your Ozzy, your top 10 or your top, and I was like, man, because me and my buddy was watching, I said, and I couldn't believe Randy put Blizzard of Oz, I don't know where, he put it right in the middle somewhere. I was like, Jesus, Grammy Rock.
Yeah, but see, Randy's like me. I mean, was other than the Ultimate Sin, Randy said, I think he's Jakey fan.
I knew Ultimate Sin would still be his, because I've heard him talk about that before.
And I'm like, I'm all about Zach. I mean, Zach's the shit. I mean,
and to me, Blizzard, that's my favorite.
Now, see, we talked to Billy. Billy said Diary of a Madman because nobody talks about that album.
It's a good one.
But I mean, and I guess we've already mentioned favorite Ozzy albums, which is number 5. I'm going to go with No Rest for the Wicked. I mean, I love that album. I mean, I think that's when you get Zach. He was fresh, new, and today that album's still one of my favorite Ozzy albums. I don't know what do y'all think about Ozzy albums?
I'll stick with what I was saying, Blizzard.
Yeah, that's mine. I'll tell you, like a side story is like when I buy vinyl and I see and I trade a lot. So if I see Blizzard of Oz, that's a seller every time. I mean, you can sell that to anybody; they'll buy that record, and that just tells you how great that record is. That's just, I guess, to my exposure. My first exposure to him was that. I didn't listen to a lot of Sabbath.
Sabbath.
I listened to some, but your favorite song of Sabbath is probably not even close to me. Like Fairies Wear Boots is my favorite Sabbath song.
Skinhead Punkers.
And that's my favorite Sabbath song. But after that,
Did you know Ozzy actually plays the harmonica in Fairies Wear Boots?
Yeah. I didn't.
Yeah, I seen that on his show on TV, and I was like, damn, that's pretty impressive. Ozzy actually harmonica in the Fairies Wear Boots.
Yeah, that song's all about the Doc Marten boots and skinhead, the fashions during the time.
Yeah, that was in the drinking days. I remember just people always listening to that, and I was like, man, that's a great song. And then, I remember we went and saw an Ozzy cover up in Stanton, and he was like a dwarf singing Ozzy, but he was right on. But that's everybody wanted to hear Crazy Train, so that was
killer guitar solo.
Yeah. And
well, and that's all Randy stuff. I mean, but I don't think he done wrong. I mean, he left Black Sabbath, put out Blizzard of Oz. I mean, it's a freaking great album.
Yeah. Kept on going.
I mean, it didn't even slow him down at all. I don't know if his wife was like a big part of that. I mean, Sharon.
That would have been a question to ask with Jerry and Billy with Diary, if those were still some of Randy's guitar licks.
Yeah, because I know even when we listened to Bark at the Moon, Love swears that Randy wrote the solo to Bark at the Moon.
Because that riff is just, that solo sounds like a Randy solo.
But, I mean, a favorite Ozzy album, I mean, No Rest for the Wicked is probably my favorite. But, all right, so we're throwing Eddie Van Halen in the mix. All right, so we're going to go with favorite Van Halen album.
Greaver, that's you. You always start the questionnaires.
Yeah. Wow.
I put the pressure on
you. All the
you,
pressure's on you, bro.
Yeah, and I just come in behind, like, yeah, man,
Man,
and there's a lot of good stuff. I mean, my wife is anti Van Halen, but I mean,
say Diver Down.
Why do you pick Diver Down?
Wow, man, that's one, and I'll tell you, it was like somebody. Like something in your mind going, that's neat. That's the one, because I don't collect a lot of Van Halen. I do have all the CDs on, except when Hagar started coming in. That's when I sort of cut my ties. I don't know how y'all feel about him and them together, but I didn't like it.
I feel different, but anyway.
But Diver Down. Well, I know where you'll go because yeah. But I mean But to me, I mean, Diver Down just has. I don't know, and it's like I've never found a mint copy on vinyl, a used copy, and I found one at Wonder, and I put it on, and I was like, holy crap. It was just, the whole thing from beginning to end is just, I mean, it's just good. I mean, it's like, that's why I would say Eddie Van Halen as far as guitar. At that time, the band was just, I mean, you couldn't stop them. I mean, I remember as a kid, listening to them, it's just, everything was always good. Everything, you never fast forward to the song. That was from cassette. So that tells you how damn long
Yeah,
it was.
man, fast
That was from
forward
cassette.
We showed our age.
Yeah.
Or the pencil and the spinning,
Yeah,
man.
exactly.
The pencil and the spinning.
I wasn't gonna say the 8-track where but no, I would say Diver Down's my favorite.
And I'm going with Van Halen, because Ice Cream Man, Jamie's Crying.
And we're
Running
going with
the
some.
Devil.
He's digging
That's
deep
good.
on Van
Because,
Halen. One.
and what it all started with, Eruption, the finger tapping, that song. My cousin Alan, Missy's brother, like I guess I was probably 10, 11, he gave me that tape. So, early 80s, and I played the hell out of that tape. I still got it.
See, and I'm going with 84. 1984, I mean,
That's good.
I don't know if it's Van Halen's best album, but, man, when I throw that thing on, it takes me to that time where that album come out, and you could do no wrong. I think 84,
First time it had a great cover too.
yeah,
That's a great cover.
it is a cool cover. Because you got the kid smoking a cigarette, and it's a wonder it didn't get banned back in the day, but...
Yeah.
But Eddie just pretty much all the hair bands that followed him created, did what he did. And he was the original to do it all. And
And that was the controversy album too, because of using the keyboards and the synthesizers instead of playing the guitar.
Well, to me, it's always like Steve Vai. To me, when I look at them, I look at like I just remember when he was with Alcatraz, and I'd see those videos, and just looked like he was Eddie Van Halen, like a wannabe guy. Now, who plays better? But to me, it just looked like
Steve Vai's a hell of a guitar player. Though.
yeah. Oh, it's
yeah, and I mean, even when David did any solo stuff, he had Steve Vai. I mean, if you're gonna do an album and you're gonna do an album without Eddie Van Halen, I mean, get the next best thing.
Yeah.
I mean, Steve Vai. And I heard, some Van Halen stuff, or David's solo stuff today, and it's like Yankee Rose. I mean, he didn't do wrong with getting Steve Vai, but it's just not.
You talking about Steve Vai?
Just not Van Halen.
Yngwie Malmsteen the other day. I can't remember what the cover was. It was a good cover too.
with the dragon. Was it dragon breathing down on you? Is that one? I've seen. I never followed him.
Yeah, I was never, but he was always a good guitar player. But when it came on, I was like, I know this song because it was a cover, and I was like, but that's not who sings it. And now I wish I could remember what it was.
I remember that metal show. I remember he was on there playing, in the audience one time.
And I mean, I like the Sammy Hagar stuff. I mean, I think they sold a lot more albums with Sammy Hagar.
I thought it was good for a Coke commercial or something like that, but I just didn't.
Well,
like
when
it.
Sammy came in too, the train was still. They were still so hot. They were just still mega household names. So Sammy helped with that too.
Well, yeah,
to keep it going for a couple more years.
I think it was a good fit for the way the music industry was going. I think Sammy was a good fit because Sammy was already established with I Can't Drive 55, and I mean he was just doing good solo stuff. But when they brought him into Van Halen, he took them to a whole different level, way different from the David Lee Roth era. But it wasn't a bad thing.
No.
I mean,
They still made shit tons of money.
Yeah, they sold millions.
They kept the money going.
All right, so this I'm kind of curious about. All right, next question is name an album that you like better now than you did when it came out.
I'll let Love go first on this.
Nah,
I gotta
you're the
think.
first.
Well, see, I'm not.
Y'all want me to answer it?
Yeah, you go
Yeah,
first.
you're
All right, so everybody knows I'm a major Motley Crue fan. The album with Johnny Corabi on Motley Crue, man, that album I pushed that album hard days, man. It's freaking great. I mean, Johnny Corabi made Motley Crue. I mean, he gave them balls and
I was getting ready to say I thought
everything.
He was the president of Heck Gas fan. Every time I said that, yeah.
But I mean, it is. I mean, when it first come out, I was a little upset because Vince Neil wasn't there. But we're in like 2018, and Krabby took Motley Crue to a whole new level. And I mean, Mike Mayo, he'll agree with me. I mean, we've had many conversations on what Krabby did with the Crew, but that's kind of where I'm at. I'm going to say Motley Crue is Motley Crue.
One from... I'll go back to the Cure days with Mood Swings.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I was afraid to say something non-metal, but hey, way to go, Larry.
Hey, man,
way to go.
you know, that's...
what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's the one, because, man, like, when that first came out, I didn't like it. But then, a couple years later, I pulled it out and listened to it. It's Lies, Jupiter's Crashing, Get Gone. I love Get Gone, man. That song's so awesome.
Well, it's right after, after Susie and the Banshees, and I mean, man.
Yeah, we're a
Robert
little out.
Smith.
We're a little out of my realm here, so.
You knew that was going to happen with us.
Yeah, when you get these two together, they listen to a lot of music, and they're probably the two biggest music fans, including me. But they listen a lot more broad range than I do. But
Well, as far as metal, I mean, I could ask you about anybody in metal, and you'd be able to tell me. Whereas, if you wanted to know which Dead Milkmen song was.
yeah, it's
Okay, well, off air, but to me, like for me, I'm a punk guy, and I love the Damned. They're probably my favorite punk band, but Machine Gun Etiquette is probably an album like in getting their whole catalog of stuff. I got away from that for a while, but then you catch a video and you say, oh man, there's that song, and I'd go back and they just reissued that on vinyl, so I'd get a couple of different colors of that album. But to me, that's probably the album that's probably listened to it the first time. I said, man, it's a good album. Then you put it away, but then you listen to it later and just realize, hey, I'm not taking this off for a while. So that's probably mine.
all right. So yeah, we was a little different from where I went with that, but
that's what happens if you put me first.
but yeah, that's what happens when we're on a metal show and we don't do a metal album. But I'm coming in there strong with the Motley album, self-titled. But all right, so we're gonna go with the next question, which we have two different lead singers. We're gonna go Highway to Hell or Back in Black. And man, when I wrote this question up, I don't even know how to even answer this because man, Bon Scott put out some great music, but damn, who don't own Back in Black? I mean, who don't own that album?
I know, but then again, you could say who don't own Highway to Hell.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, this is true. This is true.
It was an easy one for me. Highway to Hell, Bon Scott, all the way. But when it comes, probably Black in Black was probably a bigger seller.
Man.
But Highway to Hell.
Yeah, but when you throw them on, is that your go-to album? Highway to Hell or Back in Black?
Highway to Hell.
What is your go-to album?
For AC/DC?
If you had them two to pick from.
Oh, them two, because I would like say I love Fly on the Wall.
Randy Hartman, he would be very proud of you right now.
There you go, Randy.
Props to Randy.
We'll bring it over on your record player and listen to it. Boy, God, I'd probably say Highway to Hell. Back in Black is, I mean, what way to start off having a new lead singer with that album? I mean,
dude, it was so
Jesus.
solid.
I mean, there's
So solid.
I don't even know. I mean, I guess you can answer this, but I mean, I say Back in Black, but I could go in here and throw Highway to Hell in. And it's like, God, this sucker is awesome.
I know.
Man, Brian Johnson's vocals fit really well.
I mean, for the situation they was dealt with,
Yeah,
I know.
Back in Black.
So you'd almost, I could go either way too, because like you just said, for the situation you're thrown into, and you come out with that, and yeah. And when did Lang produce that? Didn't he? Mutt Lang.
Yeah, and it's like, but then you look at his like after that. I mean, Def Leppard.
Yeah.
I mean, Mutt Lang. I mean, I don't even think anybody even realizes that he produced Back in Black.
Or Shania Twain.
Yeah, exactly. He married the chick.
Yeah.
I mean,
he produced all kinds of albums that never a baby. He didn't produce a baby.
Yeah,
I don't
well.
understand.
But you take Back in Black and put that up there with Hysteria. I mean, it's two completely different albums.
Yeah.
But you got the same producer,
Yeah.
which a lot of people don't even realize that. So I don't know. I guess it depends on what day you ask me, I guess. But you're going Highway to Hell all the way?
All the way, Bon Scott, all the way.
So what you got, Greaver?
Boy, talk about a fence setter right here. I'm still going Highway to Hell because that's I like that album.
Sitting on a fence.
Yeah, I could go either way.
Rock and roll
boy,
noise pollution, man.
I'm just gonna have to go with Highway to Hell.
Right.
But on my Highway to Hell, I'd be listening to Back in Black. So there you go.
So we're going to go. We're going to throw in Highway to Hell, and then we're going to put Back in Black right behind it.
Yeah.
I mean,
I always like Dirty Deeds too, though.
Or high voltage.
High voltage.
Man, that's. I think High Voltage. Man, that's.
but then you throw Dirty Deeds in there and Fly on
Yeah,
the Wall.
I know.
Where do you stop?
You just put the two. You just gave us the two to go.
Well, even
with.
74 Jailbreak. I mean, that's shorts and EP, but it's good.
I mean, if you go to a party and they're throwing up AC/DC, it's like
Pretty
it don't
much
matter what
anyone.
it is.
Yeah.
Number one strip song come off of that, man.
Yeah, I mean,
Shook me all night long.
Yeah, a lot of women have stripped to that song.
A lot of money was made.
They say there's a lot of money
Titties
made.
were shook.
I may have heard that one or two times. I don't know.
All right, so we're going to move on to question number 9, which I'm not even sure what's going to go on here. But Peace Sells or Rust in Peace?
Boy.
I mean, this is Dave Mustaine at his finest.
Well, this will tell you where I'm at as far as metal. All right.
Ladybird.
Metallica. Metallica's fine. Megadeth, I only listen to Peace Sells. And Peace Sells, I'm buying it. That's the one I'll go with. I don't,
I'm
you know.
good with Peace Sells too.
All right, I'm going different. I agree to disagree. I'm going with Rust in Peace. I think the lineup on Rust in Peace, I think Rust in Peace is a gem. I mean, for when it come out, Rust in Peace, man, you don't get much better than that. But I can't take away, Danny Crider told me Peace Sells. You got to remember, Dave Mustaine wrote that gem early, pissed off at Metallica for getting rid of him, and
I think he writes better angry.
Yeah,
I think so. So,
and every time they put an album out, Metallica puts an album out.
But a lot of
vice
people do.
versa. Yeah, a lot of times Dave's work gets overshadowed.
yeah, it's always has. It always has. I mean, that man helped write Kill 'Em All. I mean, that's the greatest thrash album ever.
I would rather hear him talk than anybody in Metallica because that guy's smart as hell.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
He's an asshole, but he's smart. You can't have two assholes in one band. It never works.
Well, that is true.
But I guess I'm going to disagree with y'all. I'm going to say Rust in Peace.
That's a good one too, man.
All right, well, we're going to add a number 10 in here just because I'm a major Crew fan.
I thought it would still be
And-
when did Kiss really end?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
We'll do that. We'll do that as question number 11.
Turn it to
It's a
11.
But,
bonus
11.
section. Bonus section.
Favorite Motley Crue album? This shouldn't probably be hard, but
It's either gonna be Fast for Love or Shout.
I'm gonna just give you my answer right now. And I can tell you right now where I was when I first heard "Too Fast for Love." The actual first song I heard was on with the show, and it was on WJSY in Harrisonburg when they used to play music before. I don't know what happened to that station. I don't know if
I never even heard of that.
Yeah, it was like you had QPO and you had JSY. JSY played the better music, but I don't think they wanted to go with Q101. So I remember that's my first Motley Crue song I heard. I said, man, that song is great, and that's my favorite Motley Crue song on the show. I mean, that's my favorite album of theirs. And I remember I first bought that on cassette, and yeah, and
man, we're really showing our age here.
But it's sad. A guy I went to school with, he borrowed that cassette, and it's like a week later he had a car accident, and I just remember that's always stuck with me that
He never got it back.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, he listened to that more than I would ever would. So I'm thinking he's probably still listening to that. So
Got it in a box up somewhere in the closet.
And yeah, that's just to me when I see that. That's another album like I was telling you about Blizzard of Oz. If you find that record, even shout the devil too, but Too Fast for Love, people would buy that thing if it's broken in half.
All day long.
If they'll still buy it. Seems it's a go-to.
No, that would be Starry Eyes for me.
But it seems like
that's good too.
Love, and I know he always tells me, gives me props. I guess when he's pumping the crew, but he listens to them both back to back. Shout and Too Fast for Love, or vice versa. Too Fast for Love and Shout.
Do I know where you're going? Should I just get over here so John Karabi can come in and sit down?
Well, it's like, man, I love Karabi. I mean, I do. But, when at the end of the day, I'm a Crew fan, and I agree with Love. I mean, their first two albums.
I figured you'd go with Theater.
Well, Theater, that's Q94's album.
Well, see, I listened to you had the first two, and then Theater Pain come out. I remember rushing out. I was still playing baseball, and I went out and got that cassette, and I was disappointed.
Really?
Because I heard Smoking
Even
in the
with
Boys' Room.
Home Sweet Home?
Yeah, I was
Yeah, 'cause
disappointed.
it was all starting to get polished. It was all the rawness was gone from the first two albums.
But image-wise, I mean, if you look, I know it's
Louder
like
than
that.
hell.
That ain't got nothing to do with their music they create. Image-wise, they created it all. Everybody followed their image.
That LA whiskey
Yeah,
goes,
glam.
the sunset. But that all goes back to the New York Dolls and
Yeah,
Ziggy
I mean that's where it all come from. I mean, Nick even says that. That's where.
and Alice Cooper, the whole glam.
Yeah.
Early 70s glam. Speaking of a while ago, and you said something about punk, man. Do you have any Adam Ant's early stuff?
Shoot, I got all of it. Sorry if that disappoints anybody, but yeah.
Boy, we just
What are we
destroyed all
doing
of
about
them.
the Adam Ant? No, we can't be talking about Adam Ant.
I
This is a
celebrate
damn
his whole
metal
collection.
show.
I celebrate his whole collection. Yes, I do.
Do you follow Punkster TV on Instagram?
I don't.
Follow him.
All right, so we gotta quit talking about this. We're getting like that's what I was worried about. You get two people that are like metalheads / whatever they listen to. All right, so this one's out to Randy Hartman, which is huge Vinnie Vincent fan. He parades Vinnie Vincent. I like Vinnie Vincent. I'm not as big of a Vinnie Vincent fan as Randy Hartman is. But
Didn't you say you
Kiss
got an album for
announced. Well, Kiss announced their retirement. This is gonna be it for Kiss. They told me
Last
this
30 years.
in '94 that was the last year they was gonna do it. So I mean,
Make a couple more million.
what do you think
Last
about
one.
Kiss doing the retirement thing? Is it
If them old bastards can still get up there and do it, I let them.
Will there be beer? That's all I can say. Because at retirement dinners, you got to have beer.
Well, you got to think, man. For Gene to put them big ass boots on at 70-some years old and trump across stage, it's.
I mean, that's 40 pounds of.
Yeah, but I
garbage
mean,
that
as
they
many
gotta wear.
people they got filling in the shoes of the actual people. I figure he could just have his voice pumped into some
Yeah,
dude.
they just put
that stuff.
makeup on a younger.
Because
stronger
Randy knows Kiss died after Dynasty. I mean, that's what he knows it. I know it, and that's what happened. I mean, Ace was left by himself there with those other two, and poor Peter got thrown out in the cold. And he didn't. I don't even think he drummed on much of Dynasty. I think Anton Fig was David Letterman's freaking drummer on the Late Show,
Is that?
and he did a lot of the drumming for that and Unmasked.
When
And
I
probably
say
some of the
I
other
had
stuff.
Top 10. I was going to say something about Letterman's top 10.
Well, see, and then you got Vinny, which Randy swears that Creatures of the Night is all Vinny, and I have heard that Vinny did play a lot of stuff on Creatures of the Night, even though he's not on the cover.
But Ace, man, oof, boy, he's. I mean, to me, I just thought when those two guys left, that was the end of it for me.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. I mean, Vinny done what he done, and man, even when he wrote the stuff on Revenge, which I love Revenge, I think Revenge was a great comeback album for that era.
I know, what was it? Domino? That was a good one.
Yeah, Domino and Unholy. I mean, I heard Vinny had a big part in Unholy. What do you think about the whole Kiss thing? Does it sway you either way? I mean, are you gonna lose sleep because Kiss is retiring?
No, it ain't gonna. I'm not gonna lose.
It's not true. They'll just come back in 2 more years.
Yeah.
And I know I said that in '95. It's like I went and seen them in '95. This is the only time you go get to see the original lineup in makeup. And so I went. I better go. And that was in '95.
This is how we get Peter Criss back. No, they'll never happen again. 30 years later.
Yeah, we're like 2018, and Kiss is finally.
Are they actually bringing Peter back again? And
no,
I wouldn't think. I don't think Peter can play drums anymore.
No, well, I don't know. I guess he can try to play drums.
I'll make a sample in.
Just
sample it in. Yeah. Get some newer people in there. Just put the makeup on.
Like they're doing that now.
Yeah, Tommy Thayer and Eric Singer. There's your Peter Criss and Ace Frehley.
It's like they never aged.
They never at all. All right.
And I know, and one more thing. I know Randy loved, he loved Eric Carr more than Peter Criss, but I always would tell him Eric Carr didn't write Beth, so I don't even know what you're talking about. I mean, that to me was their first, but he was good.
Oh, yeah.
He's great.
He nailed it.
It wasn't supposed to be Beth. It was like, what, Nancy or that they didn't.
Velma, I don't know.
They didn't like the name, so they changed the record producers.
I never heard that. That's a little.
Yeah, that's a little new to me.
Man, that's like a little tidbit you can add. That's good.
Well, I heard.
Well, Randy, you're the Kiss man. No,
I heard Beck, but that was I never heard Nancy or any of that stuff.
Yeah, it wasn't supposed to be Beth, but it was like somebody else's name. But
yeah, I
they changed it to Beth instead.
Well, if we're gonna do some rambling, I mean, you might as well say we're gonna talk about Randy's favorite album, Saint Anger. I mean, what do you think of Saint Anger? Do you think Metallica should have just hung it up after that, or?
No, they made money off of it. I liked Saint Anger, so.
Well, I think they should let Les Claypool come in and play bass, like in the movie where he's there. They should have let him come in and play bass. I mean, I'd have been. That man's talented. That was probably the most talented bass player they had walk in there. Yeah, because granted, probably they would have had to do Jerry's a race car driver to, I'd like to hear Metallica do that.
Jerry's a race car driver, yeah.
That would be good.
Got me choked up.
All right, we're gonna leave this on high notes. Props to Randy Hartman. Billy, I know you're going through some rough shit right now. And my daughter should be coming home soon.
Sooner the better.
Dear daughter. But
it'll make you cry.
All right. So yeah, if y'all ain't doing nothing, check us out on YouTube. We're out of here. Peace.
Peace.